What up, my Cresh? It's me, Fresh, and welcome to a brand new behind-the-scenes commentary of Fresh Powder's Big Blue Spaceship, Chapter 4, Retreat. Now, you all know the drill. We'll be going through this whole chapter scene by scene, discussing some of the decisions we did. So yeah, let's get to it.
And finally, the time has come. Welcome back to a brand new series of April Fool's Day!
So, I imagine that this little scene of the laptop in the dark, I like to imagine that this was the moment that Cameron got fooled by my April Fool's joke all those years ago.
It feels like such ancient history, and yet it's such a monumental impact on the whole story, isn't it? It wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
It's kind of fitting that this is the first time I've had a voice chat with Cameron, and it's during a reference to the April Fool's joke.
It's come full circle.
Yeah. I didn't really intend to upload this video on April Fool's Day. It was just that, Cameron gave me the last pieces that I needed to complete this video, and I just thought, why not?
It was literally the day after, so when it first came on, I was like, was this a delayed joke? Is it actually not Chapter 4? I just started reacting to this, and I was like, oh wait, it's that.
Yeah. So yeah, in this...
fell for that too.
Yeah. Well, as you can see in this scene, Cameron ultimately smashes his laptop and starts trashing the place after falling for that joke, and if you're a Star Wars fan, you'll know that that's when Kylo Ren discovers Rey has escaped and has his own little freak out. So yeah, thought it would make sense.
Yo, Snake Staff Magic. Good luck against Fresh. He must be punished.
So yeah, rocket taking off from Earth.
God, I remember recording that video. I didn't use a microphone for that. I used my old crappy phone with it wasn't even like a recording software. It was like a voice changing software. I could record your voice. I didn't apply any effects. I just remember sending it to Dudley. God.
Yeah.
I don't even have that clip. I don't even have that voice anymore. Like that voice clip anymore. I don't even. Jeez.
Yeah, I think I still have it, but then I didn't end up using it yet because I did the audio telling of the story, which is
Yeah. This whole opening scene, like, this was all based off of the details we were given during our previous behind the scenes for Fresh Powder's Big Blue Spaceship, and so you'll see a lot of recurring details reappearing. So in this scene, I like to imagine that Cameron left Earth to plan his revenge. That's him leaving in the rocket.
Also, that rocket looks a lot like a plane.
Well, I wanted to go for like a basic NASA one, like he just hopped on board and took it without their permission and such.
He's stowaways on the rocket.
I just find it hilarious. It's all escalated from a single joke.
Yeah.
I know, right? It's amazing.
Oh, it's great.
After his awful April Fool's joke, I'm rooting for you. Good luck against Fresh.
So yeah, that little mechanism creating the Reapers, that was from the first Cybermen episodes from modern Doctor Who.
Oh, classic
Yes.
season 2.
I have to say, I wonder if it's going to be established why Cameron had that human voice back then, but now he's a robot. I wonder if we're...
Well, I wanted to keep it somewhat vague, did he transfer his soul into this robot body, or did he create the Reapers separately to be their own separate being, I wanted to leave it open.
Arise, Reaper 35. Where is he?
So yeah, Yeah, Dudley, you thought it was a bit weird that I was using those Star Wars silhouettes for the Reaper ships.
Yeah, I mean, like, it could only because the ships we've seen in previous parts had completely different silhouettes to these ones. Like,
Mhm.
it could be a different time or something.
Well, yeah,
But like,
that was kind of the point because um up until up until Big Blue Spaceship Chapter 2, we had to only rely on the original designs for the Reapers and such. And if you remember back for the Fresh vs. Snakestaff Chapter 7.5 teaser, the Reaper ships looked completely different.
Yeah,
So,
they did. Different design.
yeah, the four smaller ones to me did look a bit like X-Wings, and the actual Reaper mothership looked like a Star Destroyer, so I thought, I'll just use X-Wings and Star Destroyer for their silhouettes.
cliffhanger to chapter 3 of Big Blue Spaceship has ships arriving. And I thought, I wonder why he didn't just use the silhouettes of those. Like, but it was just an interesting thing I noticed.
Yeah.
Funny enough, the original design was actually inspired by the Clone Wars Malevolence, General Grievous's massive
Oh,
ship.
yeah.
Okay.
That it was originally inspired by that. But yeah, pretty good. It was good Star Wars inspired ship design.
We love Star Wars.
We do.
Yeah.
Who is saying Rise Reaper 35?
That was Cameron.
Something else.
It's the original. Me.
So does that mean... So is the Reaper 35 who's in charge of the others not you? He's like...
Well,
robot
like,
buddy of yours?
like I was saying
It's not
earlier,
that
like I was saying earlier, I like to keep it open. You know, did he transfer his soul, or is the Reaper a completely separate entity? Who knows?
But I'm just gonna be a massive floating head like in Ant-Man Quantumania. That'll be the big reveal. Big stretch face.
Yeah, that would be funny. You'd be essentially be the MODOK of our universe.
They're just floating around. Tiny little legs.
Yeah.
And who were those two pilots?
So yes, Dagon 4.
Goddamn, back in 2018.
Yeah, that date, August 9th, 2018, that date is set halfway between the release date of Fresh vs. Snakestaff Chapter 6 and Chapter 7. So this is happening, like, before Fresh has his vision of, like, uh-oh, Snakestaff's forces, they're still out there, you know?
Okay.
God, I can't believe it's been like 6 years since chapter, what was it, 6? My goodness.
Yeah.
My
God.
And you brought this up before in the behind the scenes, Cameron, but when you were voicing the Reapers, you were saying something like, "We haven't gotten this close to the ship since we cornered them above the rings of Dagon." Well,
Yeah.
here they are,
Yes.
above the
I'm
rings
glad
of Dagon 4.
I'm glad you got that. Because that was just meant to be like an offhand comment, but I'm glad you actually, made it something. That's
Yeah.
great.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nice touch.
And also, I managed to include because when you were voicing the Reapers, you were going to say the Rings of Dagon 4, but you couldn't get the last 4 into their dialogue, so
No.
I thought I'd add it for you and say, this is Dagon 4.
For some reason, the audio, every time I would record it, it would just cut the 4 off, and I've got no clue why. And eventually I just gave up, and it's really annoying.
Yeah. But yeah, I had to include like little details of like the little gunfire happening, because if you look to the far right side of Dagon 4, you can see little blasts happening on its rings,
Oh, yeah.
showing where the fight's actually happening. So yeah, we get to see the Reapers in their classic designs.
The classic ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still enjoy. I'm not gonna lie, I still kind of enjoy those old designs better than the new ones. But that's just because they're more classic for me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. They were just really hard to use.
It's interesting to see like what was going on between Chapter 6 and Chapter 7. Like, the Reapers seem to know a lot about what's going on. I'm assuming some of this is going to be revealed later. Like,
Well, we'll see.
Hopefully.
Also, ever since Cameron, ever since you called the Reapers, named the Reaper 2217 after a particular date in the Fresh vs. Snakestaff timeline, I decided to carry on that trend and started naming more Reapers after other dates in the Fresh vs. Snakestaff timeline.
Oh, yeah?
For instance, 4916 here. That was the day I first uploaded my reaction to Daleks in Manhattan.
Oh.
AKA, that was the day I first acknowledged Snakestaff magic in my comments.
Oh, did it all. Snowball effect. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
well, I think we had shared one or two sentences before that, but then that was the episode where it was like, at the start. I was like, which one's, I didn't know that, so which one's 2217? Is that chapter
He's,
6?
He's 35's commander after 4916, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but I meant, what is the date significance of 2217?
Which date was it?
That was the first chapter of Fresh vs.
Yes, it was,
Snakestaff
yeah.
being released.
That's it.
Ah, I like it.
So yeah. So yeah, there's Blooper alone firing against the Reapers.
A considerable risk.
Yeah, at this point in time, it's just the captains and Blooper and Pegasus on the ship, so without their team, they need to resort to firing on their own.
Very true. Very true.
Also, you might have already noticed here, but Blooper doesn't really talk a lot in this chapter. That's because the voice app that supported Blooper's voice doesn't work anymore, so I'm currently trying to find a new one, but well, I'll explain more on that in a little bit.
I just use mainly Audacity for my voice effects. Then again, I kind of lost the original tutorial for Reaper's original voice, so I kind of had to find one similar and try to, compromise between the two. So
Yeah. This was a bit of foreshadowing here, hinting, because in Chapter 3 of Big Blue Spaceship, you'll remember that after they hyperjumped, they blew a fuse, and that's what ultimately caused them to crash on Skara. So this was a little hint that we can't hyperjump. If we do, who knows what's going to happen? Also, who is this mysterious Spanner character they're referring to?
bit of teasing, bit of thought provocation.
Thoughts, Dudley?
It's interesting. It's like, there's been so many new characters introduced in the Fresh Powder Big Blue Spaceship. I need to rewatch it when it's all done, because, like, I was there like, oh, we must have seen Spanner in the last episode and didn't catch on to that, because there were quite a few characters introduced. So,
well,
but yeah.
All I can say is you haven't seen Spanner yet, but Dudley, you have heard him before.
Okay.
That's all I'll say.
Interesting.
So yeah, there's Pegasus in the hangar bay.
Oh, we get a nice little look at the interior now.
And ooh, what's that? Could that be another of the Star Sense spaceships we can see there?
Ooh.
So yeah,
colours you used for all of it as well.
yeah, I like to imagine they're just using it as like storage space currently. Also, the atomic airlock, that was basically my way of saying that's why Pegasus isn't being sucked out into the void, because the atomic airlock's in place, so it keeps the air in without sucking anything out.
Yeah, that's fair.
A few more Easter eggs in this shot here.
Why Operation Chestnut? Is it because it's like solid on the outside or something?
Well, if you've ever played Conkers before, you need to smash conkers into each other, and the one that isn't
Oh,
broken
yeah.
is the winner. So that's why I called it Operation Chestnut.
Ah, okay.
So yeah.
Unfortunately, I think you may have spelt chestnut wrong.
Yeah, typical me.
Unless I'm wrong. Also, I never did catch on before to this. The Ark of the Covenant and Shoebox New. That's...
Yeah, because I like to imagine, if you remember in Chapter 1 of Big Blue Spaceship, Malcolm says,
Oh yeah,
they also,
the artifacts.
yeah, they house
stuff.
different artifacts that are too dangerous to be on Earth. So, the Ark of the Covenant's here. This is where I put the Shoebox Zoo after I revealed that I was the one who now owns them at the end of my reactions to Shoebox Zoo. So yeah.
Bringing Indiana Jones into this.
Well, this is just meant to be a little throwaway joke, like, oh, don't open the box, you don't want to see what's in here.
Based on my past, no Indiana Jones, please. No Indiana Jones.
Yeah, fair enough.